you've ever found yourself wondering, who can I trust? I found the movie for you. Welcome back to Watching the Wall, where I try to finish watching all the DVDs that I own and have not seen. And today, we've got a fun one. This movie has been hyped my entire adult life. I know a lot of people who this is their favorite horror movie. So that's a lot of pressure to throw onto anything. Thankfully, we have a director who has the pedigree to maybe live up to the hype. John Carpenter. After his breakout success with a certain Michael Myers in 1978's Halloween, the studio said, "Hey John, what else do you got for us?" And he responded with The Fog and Escape from New York. Wow. Finding so much success with basically everything he touched, John Carpenter decided to combine the best of both worlds, a little bit of horror from The Fog, some special effects from the artists he met on it, and a little bit of Kurt Russell. What do we get? The Thing. Released in 1982, to a lot of fanfare and circumstance, even Elvira was there. Slit going all the way up to her hip. It was beautiful. You've got all the big names you could ever want. You've got the studio's full support. I can't wait to see how people reacted to it. Huh. This isn't going to be cursed all over again, right? I don't know if I can stand that. Well, before we go too much further, let's read. Horror Meister John Carpenter, Halloween, Escape from New York, teams Kurt Russell's outstanding performance with incredible visuals to build this chilling version of the classic The Thing. In the winter of 1982, a 12-man research team at a remote Antarctic research station discovers an alien buried in the snow for over 100,000 years. Soon unfrozen, the form-changing alien wreaks havoc, creates terror, and becomes one of them. Once again, spoilers! Can we just not give away major plot points on the back of DVD covers? Are we assuming everyone's seen it by this point? To be fair, this DVD came out in 2005, so it wasn't exactly a new movie then, and we're 20 years removed from when this DVD came out. No wonder I'm going so gray. My goodness. This particular DVD, called the Collector's Edition, does feature more than nothing, which is more than I can say for some of the things I've reviewed so far here. The documentary they filmed way after the fact, that's fine. The interviews are a little dry, they could have produced it more, but you get all the information out there. In fact, that's where I learned about the guy who made the special effects, only being 22 years old when he did them. Rob Bottin, you deserved fourth billing on these titles. Guy literally lived on the set for almost a year and a half. That's dedication to your craft. But the only thing that bothers me, the rest of the special features, this is how it's presented. This is just someone's family photos. One slide after the other. You don't have to press next, thankfully, but some of those slides, they move pretty quick, and it was 6 in the morning when I was watching it. I had trouble reading that fast. This is truly an exhaustive research into the behind the scenes and leading up to the release of The Thing. And this one has captions, which, I think that should be a requirement for all DVDs, but hey, I'm not the one making them. I just watch them. Speaking of, let's get into the plot. Oh, puppy! Aww. The search and rescue. Okay, I guess it's a seek and destroy. Hawkeye!
You're okay. You're a good boy. No helicopter's gonna go chasing after you.
There, I feel better. That's a rough start. For those of you who do have something against dogs coming to harm in the films you watch, you may want to skip this one. This is where the dog chooses its new favorite people, one of them being MacReady, played by Kurt Russell. And I like to think that I'm doing my best impersonation of that beard right now. He and the other members of this 12-man party had decided that the Norwegians must have been in some kind of distress.
Der kommer weg. Der har ikke en bekjenning. Det er en slags ting. Det imiterer en bekjent. Det er ikke virkelig. Kom deg vekk, idioter!
So after taking the dog in, they decide to go and investigate what remains of the camp. Well, this is better days. Those Norwegians really know how to party, don't they? They're establishing how isolated everyone is, not only from the rest of the world, but eventually from each other. And this whole thing feels so lonely and estranged, it's actually distracting in the first part. Yeah, this thing is almost 2 hours long, and especially the first time watching it, I felt that in the first act. Dr. Copper and McCready report back that there was in fact no one else left alive at the Norwegian camp. On top of that, there's a pile of burned bodies that were left unceremoniously on the snow, and a suspiciously large ice cube that they took out. Exactly the same shape as this. I wonder if there can be a link. Oh, and I guess there was a spaceship.
Jesus, how long you figure this has been in the ice?
Well, the backscatter effect's been bringing things up from way down around here for a long time. I'd say the ice it's buried in is 100,000 years old, at least.
Carbon date just from a glance? You really are a doctor. Yeah, I should have probably opened with that. The spaceship was the first thing you see after the extremely long credit sequence. You know, I know these are opening credits, but they kind of feel like end credits. Did I already watch the movie? Is it over? Did I black out? But guess what? Those titles, the melting away, the thing as it appears, that's also a practical effect.
A fish tank that was about, 4 feet wide by 2 feet high. And I put smoke in the fish tank, and then on the back of the fish tank I put the title, The Thing, and I drew it on an animation cell. Behind that I had a piece of garbage bag plastic, which I stretched over a frame. And behind that I had a light, which was pointed up through the letters. And when I photographed it, I hit the garbage bag plastic with little flame, like a match. I would just light it around the garbage bag plastic, and then the garbage bag plastic would open up.
I wish I hadn't given away my fish tank. I'd be doing that for my title sequence. That would be great. Please note, I don't condone burning plastic trash bags. In fact, burning plastic in a confined space, just don't do it. Clark takes the new dog to get along with the rest of the pack and make sure he is well greeted and well met. I jailbreak too, dude. Get out of there.
Luna, you're gonna be fine. You're okay. See? Dogs are okay. Yeah. She was in a dark place, but you know what? She did lift my spirits.
Again, all practical. I'm gonna keep saying that word the entire review. Just forgive me. It's impressive. Filmmaking is an art, and this special effects artist is using all the canvas, the details, the artistry, all of the things that you need to make visual art were synergizing into this one vision. This movie has been pitched to me so many ways as, oh, you don't understand. It's actually fantastic. I was expecting a roller coaster from go. Instead, we have a realistic slow burn that builds tension, builds dread, makes you wonder, hey, what's really going on here? You're gonna keep wondering that too, let me tell you. Maybe this is why I like Columbo. I never like murder mysteries, I like How Ketchum's, okay? I wanna know, who was the silhouette? I'm pretty sure it was Dr. Baird, but you know what? That might be a different movie. Debating the ending is a classic staple, but I have questions about the middle. I'm pretty sure that Blair, played by Wilford Brimley before he grew his mustache out, is not infected. And yet this man is capable of doing this.
Most of you don't know what's going on around here. Ah, damn well. Sure, some of you do.
Christ.
He got most of the chopper and the tractor. And he's killed the rest of the dogs.
I don't have all dogs go to heaven. But I know they do. He's isolated from everybody after this. They say he can't be trusted, obviously, because he's trying to isolate them from the entire world. If I start going into this, I'm never going to end. So, if you want a movie that gives you a nice, crisp, clear, concise story, don't go here. But the story it does tell, I love. You're looking at people who are at the start of a long isolation from the rest of the world. And suddenly this thing comes in and disrupts all the order that they were trying to establish. And then one of their own snaps and creates even more chaos, creating doubt, sowing those seeds and making everyone distrust one another. It took the form of that dog so it would be taken in by another group because it realized there was no saving itself from the Norwegians. And then once it was in, it decided to just go deep undercover. Play it safe. Play the long game. Get all of them one by one. It was Among Us. The camaraderie and detail of their relationships are crystal clear once you start looking at the details. You've got the impulsive former military man. You got the meteorologist who's one of his great friends and a very trustworthy person, who is also one of the first ones taken out of the picture.
Let's go, Bennings. I gotta get some sleep.
Bennings, you've been eating the jam out of the jar again. You got Childs. Keith David. You'll always be Admiral Anderson to me. And then there's Norris, the man who had to spend days laying on a table. This isn't the prize I expected to find inside. I can't show much of that scene, but let me tell you, it gets more graphic from there. One could argue this is where head crabs originated, so that's a peach. I cannot imagine that guy's day. But the discomfort that you feel is all part of the packaging. They want you in the shoes of those people who suddenly don't know who they can or can't trust. There's even a point where you start to think maybe we have an unreliable narrator. And I really, really don't want to spoil everything for you. If you have interest in this so far, from the broad strokes that I've mentioned, you may want to just go and dive on in. So overall, what's my takeaway? What do I think of The Thing now that I've finally sat down and watched it? I love this for what it represented. McCready, when he takes on the role of leadership within the group, because everyone else is suspected to be a thing, he starts to make a log. And I think it's very telling that he first records this.
Nobody trusts anybody now.
Then backs up, erases over it with another notation.
There's nothing else I can do. Just wait.
The world's trying to tell him not to trust anything he sees, trying to fracture this group and create all kinds of chaos. Despite the situation he finds himself in seeming hopeless, he never gives up, even when literally everyone is turning on him, thinking he has to be the one that's to blame. Let's light him on fire. He's a simple man doing everything in his power to keep a level head while all around him start to fray and worry and find real answers despite the fact that it seems no official sources exist for them. This is ultimately a message of hope in a hopeless situation, and I think that's why it works so well for me. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this, the practical effects are phenomenal. So, buy it, stream it, lend it, or toss it. I'd buy it again. Oh, yeah. That DVD, while it may be a little light on the production, is so full of information. And just being able to pull that up and watch it whenever I want, when I'm like, you know what? I want something that atmospheric horror. I want something that's really gonna spook me, but at a core level. And it doesn't give you everything you want, but it tells you that there's no point in giving up. Thank you again for watching The Wall. I appreciate you joining me on the new set. Decided I have this giant wall, why not frame it and use it? I've got a lot more space to play with. This is going to be a lot more energy coming from me. And if you have anything that you would like to suggest to me, or any comments, questions, concerns, you can email me at theothersocio@gmail.com. So until next time, if you have a dog in your life, be sure to give them extra hugs tonight, because I am not showing any of those clips again. Bye for now! I'll sing to the high of that. That is fantastic. Happy Easter, by the way. That's when this is being recorded. What better thing to watch on Easter than The Thing, right?